Do you remember when real-time strategy games used to be the shit? That's right, I'm talking about the late 90s. It was a veritable golden age of real-time strategy. StarCraft, Red Alert, Age of Empires, Homeworld. I mean, it was a beautiful time to be a gamer. And if you're like me, then you've got fond memories of the jewel of them all, Total Annihilation. It was massive, it was customizable, it was unique among all the strategy games that you'd ever played before. Since then, there have been many attempts to recreate its magic. Not many of them have been very successful, and though there are still good RTS games out there, the genre has definitely wilted to say the least. Which is why when I got my first free developer key code ever for a game, and I realized it was the modern day interpretation of Total Annihilation, I jumped at the chance to do my first ever review on a game. And so here it is, Ashes of the Singularity. Developed by Oxide Games and published by Stardock just a few days ago on March 31st, and is available on Steam at about $50. So let's get into the basics. Ashes of the Singularity is first and foremost a macro strategy game. That means you're going to be controlling huge armies where the individual units really don't matter all that much, in the sense that there's really not a lot of micromanaging of your units or any small-scale tactical decisions that involve high actions per minute. Which, as a turn-based strategy gamer first and foremost, I can appreciate. One of my main gripes in RTSs is usually, well, I can't remember to click my Templar and tell him to release his psionic storm bullshit when I'm in the middle of doing 10 other things, and I'm really not interested in trying. I like the design concept of building a massively well-constructed army and just flinging it in the enemy's face repeatedly. And that, in a nutshell, is what Ashes of the Singularity is all about. Add in a Company of Heroes 2 zone control style mechanic, and you've got yourself a pretty good game. In the interest of brevity, I'll wrap it up with a pros and cons list that breaks down what my experience with the game has been so far. The game does a lot of things well, but what immediately strikes you about it is the unbelievable beauty of it. The animations, the art, the smoothness and excitement of the combat, it all just works on a visceral level. The bombers dropping their payloads, the missiles streaking across the screen, the machine gun fire going rat-a-tat-tat, it all is so fucking cool. Even the maps themselves are beautifully done. The elevation with all the craters and valleys and mountains is a really cool feature and actually does have some effect on the strategy. The last thing that's really unique and special about this game in terms of RTSs is the AI. It will stomp your ass. It's smart, it's quick, it's fast, and it doesn't just get random bonuses like a lot of other AIs do. It actually plays the game well. And I'm not a technical guy, so take what I say with a grain of salt, but the devs claim that the AI uses quad-core processors only, which makes it the best AI in any RTS game to date, although it also locks out a bunch of people who don't have quad-core processors. While I'm not sure how all that business works, I can say that the computer can and will fuck you up, even on some of the more easy settings. And there are a lot of difficulty settings, which is also a plus. In terms of negatives about the game, I can say that the tech tree felt a little bit sparse, and that the amount of different kinds of units might have left something to be desired. But hey, games like Total Annihilation spoiled me with their millions of units. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a drawback, but I do look forward to a few expansions kind of opening up the tech tree and making the selection of units and techs much more diverse. Also, of course, it must be said that the system requirements are very high. I don't know if you have a top-end computer or not, but this game definitely is aimed towards the top 10% of PC gamers in terms of system power. And my last minor criticism has to do with the fact that there are only two factions. It's probably just a personal thing, but I like my RTSs to have a sense of breadth. And while the visuals and the core game mechanics of Ashes of the Singularity are solid, I do feel like it could have benefited from a bit more ambition and a bit more scope. Well, to sum things up, I'm not really the type who likes to give 10 out of 10 numerical scores. I'm more of a liberal arts major type than a mathematical statistics guy. But I will say that if you're a fan of RTS, particularly if you have golden memories of a classic of RTS gaming known as Total Annihilation, then you'll definitely want to check out Ashes of a Singularity. It does what it set out to do very well, which was to become a kind of macro RTS, fast-paced, blast-in-the-face slugfest. The game mechanics are solid, the visuals are astounding, and the AI, that son of a bitch, is quite gifted. So check it out, and hit me up in the comments section if you're looking for a little deathmatch. I still kinda suck at the current moment, but I'm getting better every day.